Banahene tutorial collections welcomes you to today's video, and today's video I have 8 Windows 11 keyboard shortcuts I want to share with you. These keyboard shortcuts boost my productivity, and because I frequently use this keyboard shortcut, it makes my workflow very easy and effective. So I want to share this keyboard shortcut with you so that you can also put that into practice, and that is also going to boost your personal productivity. Now, the first keyboard shortcut on the Windows 11 interface is using the Windows key, the Shift key, and the letter S on the keyboard. Now, when you hold this particular keyboard shortcut, this brings out the snipping tool or the snip and sketch tool of your Windows 11 operating system. You are going to have this toolbar available. We have this toolbar, and then the first tool is the snip. We also have this particular tool to record your screen, and also we have this option, that is when you click you have the option to choose rectangle, window, full screen, and also freeform based on the kind of picture or the screenshot you want to take on your Windows interface. We also have this X button. When you click, this is going to close this particular toolbar, and this toolbar is known as the snip and sketch toolbar or window. So the first option helps you to take a picture, and this also allows you to take a video recording of your interface. Now that this particular option is selected, you can choose any of the screen clipping tool, whether rectangle, window, full screen, or freeform. I have the rectangle selected, therefore I can click and drag to take a picture of my Windows interface. And when you do this, this is going to take a screenshot and paste this into your clipboard of your computer system. And also, when you click on the action center of your Windows taskbar, we have the screenshot that we took on our interface, and that is pasted here. And when I click, this is going to open the snip and sketch or the snipping tool of my Windows 11 interface, and I have this image available. Therefore, I can save this, I can copy, I can use this for any other purpose or any function on my Windows interface. So this is the first keyboard shortcut using the Windows key, the Shift key, and the letter S on the keyboard. Now let's assume that when it comes to dealing with data or information, normally when you want to copy or move an information from one location to the other, we use the Ctrl+C and the Ctrl+V, that is the copy and paste option. But there is a particular utility of your Windows that is known as the clipboard history. This clipboard history has a simple keyboard shortcut, that is, you can copy multiple items at once, and then this particular clipboard history is going to have all those copied items, and you can use that in any opened application. Therefore, to activate this particular tool, you hold the Windows key and the letter V. Now, when I held the Windows key and the letter V, I have this particular window here, and this window is the clipboard history. So you can see that I have all those items which I've copied previously, and they are all located in this particular window. Now, if this window is a first time window that you are seeing, or you are having an eyewitness on your Windows interface, it will give you a prompt to activate or open this particular option, or you have a settings to turn this particular option on. So when you use the keyboard shortcut, you have the button to turn this particular window on before you can have access to all copied items which are operated on your Windows interface. So this particular clipboard history contains multiple items. So if I copy an item on my desktop, I need not to paste them individually. Therefore, I can take time and copy those items multiple times, and when I'm done and I'm ready to paste, I'll use this particular option to paste all those copied items into any application. So the Windows key and the letter V opens up the clipboard history of your Windows interface. Now the next keyboard shortcut is to use the Windows key, the Alt key, and the letter R on the keyboard. This particular keyboard shortcut is going to open the game bar tool or the game bar utility of your Windows interface, and this particular utility gives you the option to record your screen. You can also take a picture of your entire screen. You have this toolbar that says capture. You can take a picture. you can take a video recording. You can also record your microphone if you have a microphone connected to your computer system. So this particular tool, which is being activated using the Windows key, the Alt key, and the letter R, gives you the option to record your screen and also to take a screenshot of your activated screen. So this keyboard shortcut is also useful, especially if you want to share some activities or to share a portion of your screen with your colleague or a friend or any personnel you are dealing with in a company or an institution, and you have a portion of your screen or any activity that is going on your screen, you want to push that to that person. You can use this particular tool to record or take a picture so that will be a reference for you to share those kind of information to your colleague or the other personnel. So this is also a keyboard shortcut I normally use on my Windows interface. The next keyboard shortcut is to deal with virtual desktop. Now, what is virtual desktop? This is when you have multiple screen activated, which you can perform individual activities in this individual screen. So to activate this virtual desktop, we hold the Windows key, the control key, and the letter D. Presently, I have only this screen available. Let's assume that I open this icon. This is the icon I have on this activated screen. If I hold the Windows key, the control key, and the letter D, now this creates another desktop. So this is a separate desktop or a separate screen where I can also open another item. So let's assume that I open this recycle bin icon. You can see that on the title bar I have this as the recycle bin. So this is a way of creating multiple desktops or multiple screens wherever you can have individual activities ongoing on for better viewing and also for your personal productivity. Now the next keyboard shortcut is how to navigate through this virtual created desktop, and to do this we use the Windows key, the control key, and the arrow keys. So presently I am on the desktop 2, that is the second desktop that we've created. If I want to move to the first desktop, I'll hold the Windows key, the control key, and the left arrow key. This jumps me to the first desktop. When I use it and the right arrow key, second desktop. So you can see that I am navigating through all these virtual desktops to see my individual activities. So this is also a productivity keyboard shortcut. You should put that into practice, especially when you are working in a company where you have multiple tasks happening and you want to have a separate desktop for these individual tasks. You can use this particular option. Or maybe you have your personal activity and also a company activity. You can have two created desktops to contain these activities. Let's assume that at this point you have two or more virtual desktops created and you want to cancel them. Very simple. You can close them by using the Windows key, the control key, and the F4 on the keyboard. Now you can see that I have closed this particular second desktop. So I have all the open windows found on this single desktop. Now the next shortcut is when I use the Windows key and the tab key. This opens up the task view pane of my Windows 11 operating system, and I have all open windows found on this particular interface. And in this interface too, you have the option to create additional desktop. We use the keyboard shortcut to create our virtual desktop, but you can also use this pane, which is called a task view, to also create additional desktop. So when I click this creates another desktop. So I have desktop 1, desktop 2, and I also have desktop 3. So according to all these desktops, you can see that I have this particular desktop. When I move to the task view, or when I use the Windows key and the tab key, this open the desktop, I can access this. So this also helps me to access and also navigate through my created virtual desktop. When you use the keyboard shortcut, you can navigate through your created desktops. So if I want to close this particular one, I use the control, Windows, and the functional key F4. This is closed. and this is also closed. Therefore, I have only one desktop created on my Windows operating system. Presently, I have 2 open windows on my desktop, and let's assume that I am performing some activity. Unfortunately or fortunately, my boss entered into my office without knocking, or have other colleagues or employees who entered into my office without knocking. Quickly, with my computer genius technique and skills, I can use a keyboard shortcut to minimize all windows at once, especially if that particular window I am working on is a secretive or is a window which should be personal to me. Nobody should have an access or a look of that particular window. Then I can use the Windows key and the letter D on the keyboard. This is going to minimize all windows at once, and I'm going to have my desktop fully shown for another activity. Now, lastly, in this particular tutorial, the last keyboard shortcut is, aside using the Windows key and the letter D, we have a particular keyboard shortcut that helps you to lock your screen at once, so that even if you want to access your desktop and you have a password on this PC, then when you lock the screen, you need a password to access your desktop. And the keyboard shortcut is to use the Windows key and the letter L on the keyboard, and this is going to lock your screen of your Windows interface. These are my personal keyboard shortcuts I normally use on my Windows 11 operating system, and I also urge you to practice this and be a keyboard shortcut fanatic. Thank you, and we shall meet in our next tutorials.